Live from tape, pre-recorded at our studios in Austin, Texas and Portland, Oregon, it's Syndicated with Leslie and Ben. Hi everyone, I'm the Ben of that.
And I'm the Leslie. This is a twice-monthly podcast about television, genre, and storytelling in which we watch an episode of a show and explore the history of television, one episode at a time.
Joining us, our special guest for today is editor of this show and Infinity Break's marketing director, Jay. Jay, how you doing?
I am so thrilled to be here today. Thank you for having me. And good. Before we get started, I would like to say I am wearing a t-shirt that says, I would steal a television, I would steal a car. I thought that was a little bit on theme maybe today with talking about streaming shows and HBO and all that stuff. I would steal a television. I would pirate a show. I would steal a car, so.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure we'll get into it.
I have done 2 out of 3 of those things. Fun fact.
Oh my gosh.
I imagine you haven't stolen a car.
A car, yeah, that's what I was gonna.
Hey, you know what? I'm no cop. I don't give a shit.
We don't need to be saying all that.
No, that's the one. I actually did steal a car when I was in my teens.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
It
was a wild time. The FBI got involved. It was crazy.
Stick it to Henry Ford.
That is a story for another time.
Yeah, no kidding. God. Every time I learn a fun new Leslie fact.
I
have my little flashcards that have various facts about the show, and then Leslie's like, here's a crime I've done.
All right. Look, I was a teenager, okay?
Yeah, it's fine, man. I'm no cop. I don't care.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, don't worry. I'm sure we'll be talking about the disastrous streaming decisions of both Netflix and HBO Max.
Yes.
You think so? You think that's going to come up on this show?
Oh, I imagine. Around animation specifically?
Yeah.
I was being sarcastic, Ben.
Folks, we haven't recorded an episode in a hot minute. If you're a regular listener of the show, you may have picked up on that. Some stuff has went down in the world of television and animation since we last recorded. And you bet your ass I'm fucking pissed about it as the world's #1 Infinity Train fan. That's probably...
All right.
Well, that's the name of the brand. That's why it's called Infinity Break.
No.
Kind of? No. I was making a joke.
It's kind of
you got to pick up on our jokes here.
It's kind of the name of the brand. It is not the reason for the name of the brand. Anyway.
Okay.
Fair enough.
If you're just now joining us, we're talking about Tuca and Bertie, the Netflix and Adult Swim animated sitcom. The show, which just completed its 3rd season, is a lighthearted, at times, look at friendship between 2 anthropomorphized birds in a world full of living animals and plants that, at times, closely reflects our own. Tuca and Bertie deals with complicated topics around workplace harassment, the gig economy, female friendship, and quote-unquote adulting. The show is executive produced by Lisa Hannah-Walt and Raphael Bob Waxberg.
Lisa Hannah-Walt is a more than familiar name to Ben and I, as she was the character and overall visual designer for BoJack Horseman. Hannah-Walt is a podcaster herself, the longtime host of Baby Geniuses, and is a talented cartoonist whose unique style and anthropomorphized characters are the backbone of both BoJack Horseman and Tuca and Bertie.
I love it. That anthropomorphized style.
I'm so into it. I love it so much. I actually thought when Tuca and Bertie first came out, I'm not the biggest fan of shows in the same animation style of a show that I already love.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, right. We've complained about that Bob's Burger thing.
We sure have.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I was very pleasantly surprised by the fact that this was equally as good in a completely different way.
Yeah, for sure. I think where BoJack has a certain, as we've talked about, a certain stiffness that is like, when it breaks out of that stiffness, that's when it really like, those are the really interesting episodes that we remember, including the like the stupid piece of shit montage and like, you know, that shows more trippier scenes, for lack of a better word.
Sure.
Whereas this whole show is like that. The character design is very similar, but like the animation is much more fluid and expressive in places.
And I think this episode was a fantastic example of that as well.
Oh, totally. Whereas, you know, BoJack Horseman has a lot of people standing in, like, what is that, like 3/4 perspective? kind of talking left to right at each other.
As someone who's never seen BoJack Horseman,
Oh, really?
Wow.
Sorry, everybody. I think I watched
all.
maybe like half of the first episode, and I was like, "What is this?" But I love Tuca and Bertie, so I'm sure.
Yeah. So we've talked about this. At length. We have an entire podcast about it, but it actually takes about 6 episodes. It actually takes about 6 episodes of BoJack Horseman before it gets worth investing in.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about that.
No, not today.
Not today.
Yeah, far more expressive, far more fluid. I love the way this show looks. I haven't watched either show since we stopped doing Of Horses and Men, and which is around the same time that Tuca and Bertie's first season ended, which means I just hadn't dipped back into this Lisa Hannawalt designed world, either of them, in a moment. Which means when that opening theme played, that Tuca and Bertie and Tuca and Bertie. I was just like, I just suddenly was overwhelmed with the charm of it again. I was like, oh yeah, I love this shit.
I know, me too. I was like, oh yeah, this is so good.
Oh, it's been a minute. Anyway, really appreciated that little trip down memory. I'm not going to like rewatch all of BoJack now all of a sudden, but like I warms the heart. Ali Wong plays Bertie, a nervous song thrush dealing with the anxieties of the modern bird world. Ali Wong is also on Big Mouth, but is perhaps best known for her multiple Netflix comedy specials, including Baby Cobra and Hard Knock Wife. In 2019, Wong wrote and produced Always Be My Maybe for Netflix.
Which, by the way, have y'all watched that?
Oh, twice. Love it.
It's fantastic. It is a fantastic rom-com. It's amazing.
It is. No, it's really cute. I like it a lot.
It stars Randall Park, which is reason alone for anybody to watch it.
Handsome man.
Oh, God, I love him so much. Anyway.
and Keanu Reeves, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't, spoilers, dude. Come on.
I think I've seen clips of that. Haven't seen it, though.
It's so good.
You've definitely seen those GIFs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Tiffany Haddish plays Tuca, a toucan, and Bertie's best friend. Haddish is just one of those comedians that shows up in everything, including animated TV shows like SpongeBob SquarePants and Bob's Burgers. She had a lead role on the last OG, Tracy Morgan's TBS comedy, and Haddish currently plays Detective Danner in After Party, the Apple TV comedy series, which was renewed for a second season.
News to me, as I was writing this.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
It said After Party 2022 ongoing, so I guess there's more.
How about that? Yeah. I
really enjoyed that show.
Well, you can continue enjoying it.
I will continue enjoying it.
Good news for you.
Steven Yeun plays Speckle, Bertie's dweeby but supportive Robin boyfriend. If we're sticking to Steven Yeun's television credits, he's probably best known for being Glenn Rhee on Walking Dead, one of the breakout stars of the early seasons of that show. He was also the lead of Invincible, which was a hit on Amazon last year. Yeun is also in such movies as Sorry to Bother You, Nope, and Minori. 2 things. Fuck, Nope's good.
Nope is so good. Hector and I went to watch Nope in theaters on opening day, and we just couldn't stop thinking about it and talking about it when we went to dinner afterward. It's an incredible movie.
I saw it on rental a week ago, and I still can't stop thinking about it.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's really good. It is not Jay, I don't know if you're like a horror person. It's not as scary as his previous 2 movies.
It is not.
Yeah.
I would not call it it's more of a thriller than a horror movie, I would say.
I do like horror movies. I don't care for.
There are some gory bits, but not nearly as many as you would think, I would say.
Okay.
Gory bits and 1 or 2 very tense moments, but it gets a little adventure-y in places.
I like horses.
Oh, well, I got maybe bad news about this one then.
No! Spoilers!
Ooh,
oh my god!
Ooh! Ah! Ooh!
How dare you?
I used to be a Walking Dead guy. For those first couple of seasons. I like Glenn. I like Steven Yeun from Walking Dead.
Yeah. I couldn't watch it because my one biggest fear is actually zombies, actually.
Oh, I love zombies.
I can do a zombie movie or show as long as the zombies don't look too realistic.
Oh.
You can begin to see my problem with The Walking Dead.
I got bad news.
I got as far as the half woman crawling to Rick while he was riding his bicycle, which is about 20 minutes into the first episode.
Say.
I was like, goodbye. Nope, absolutely not. Cannot do this. Goodbye. And I turned it off and never watched it again.
I was going to say that's the opening 10 minutes, my guy.
You're damn right it is. And I knew immediately that looks way too fucking real. This is not for me.
He really is, by the way. He really is one of like the 3 people that really like broke out of that show. Because it was like everyone found out about Norman Reedus. Who?
Oh, and Andrew Lincoln.
And Andrew Lincoln, that's right. I was thinking...
Because he was like the guy from Love Actually before Walking Dead.
I was thinking more of Michonne's actress. Who, obviously she's done stuff before that, but like she landed that big MCU role like right after this.
Oh yeah, you're right, she did.
And she's plenty of other stuff as well, but like I feel like this was very early in her career, so that like launched her a little bit. Early,
sure.
Yeah, like 2010 is when that character showed up, I think.
Sure.
But anyway, yeah, and then Stephen Yeun has probably like benefited the most from that, as he's been like an indie darling for the last who knows how long now. Yeah, you can be an indie darling if you're in Sorry to Bother You and also an A24 film.
Sure, why not?
Why not?
Why not? We'll give it to you.
Love him.
Yeah, I do too.
Netflix canceled Tuca and Bertie after 1 season. Despite rave reviews, organic audience praise, and critically high Rotten Tomatoes scores, the show was immediately picked up by Adult Swim, and its 2nd season came out to more rave reviews, organic audience praise, and high Rotten Tomatoes scores, proving perhaps once again that the algorithmic-based business model of modern streaming television is the enemy of art and will kill it for profit. I
mean, I don't disagree.
I know, but I'm pissed about it.
I can tell that you have emotions about this.
Very strong feelings.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
All right.
Because also, by nature of it being an Adult Swim project, that means it's owned by Warner Brothers, which means it's on HBO Max.
Yes. But I don't think it's on the chopping block, because here's what I did, because I did a little research, because there was so much over the last month or so coming out about all these different titles getting removed from HBO Max due to the Discovery merger. And I was like, what exactly is going on here? So it looks like they removed 37 titles of only HBO Max originals, and 25 of those were animated.
Jesus.
Out of 37, yeah. Notable ones that I knew the names of was Infinity Train, OKKO, Let's Be Heroes. They removed a lot of Sesame Street and Uncle Grandma, but most of them were Max originals, though. Sesame Street wasn't.
Oh, wow.
But I think that it's safe, I'm hoping, because it's Adult Swim produced technically for cable television, versus Infinity Train, which was like an HBO Max original show.
Right.
And similar, people were like, oh, Euphoria, what about Euphoria? It's like, okay, no, that's an HBO show. And it doesn't seem like, from what they've been doing, they are cutting HBO original content, Adult Swim content, Cartoon Network content, specifically.
Right.
Yeah, there was
been majorly the Max originals.
Yeah, there's a notable distinction between stuff that aired on cable or whatever, and therefore HBO Max is by default its streaming home.
Exactly.
Versus stuff that was made expressly for it to be on streaming.
Exactly.
Also, weirdly, the guillotine has largely fallen on children's stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, KO, etc. Whereas this obviously isn't.
Yeah. One thing I didn't realize when I was researching this, obviously people were talking about the completed projects, the $90 million Batgirl movie that they decided to cut releasing. What was scary about that is that they deleted the film afterwards. I guess the director of the film had gone and tried to like salvage the clips and the files, and they literally deleted it, so it can't come out anymore.
Oh my god.
Or be sold off to another property. Obviously, like Warner Brothers has a partnership with DC, but the thing I found crazy was they also canceled Scoob Holiday Haunt, which is like the follow-up film to the Scoob movie. But they announced that it wasn't getting released, and the next day they actually still went and recorded the score because they already had paid for the recording space and for the musicians. So it had already been canceled, and they went, yeah.
Are the cancellation fees for those musicians like higher than what it costs to just everyone show up?
I literally wish I knew, but yeah, it was like some article I was reading that was like the director, the writer-producer Tony Cervone, I guess, still went on to play and create the score even though they had already canceled the project.
Well, I appreciate that on a like artistic diligence
level. I know, yeah. And there was also things I was reading in LA Times or wherever that I guess they might auction off some of the shows, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be, in relating it back to Tuca and Bertie, I remember specifically when Tuca and Bertie got canceled, and Netflix literally was like, no, we don't want to give it to anybody else, and they almost like wouldn't sell it. Does anybody else remember that?
Yeah.
That sentiment that had come out?
Vaguely,
yeah. I just was so surprised by that the streaming company, like, even though they don't want the show anymore and they don't want to produce it, they wouldn't let another company buy the rights or make it, which almost happened with Tuca and Bertie, but ended up not happening. So
yeah, I mean that's why I call it like anti-art specifically, because it's not even just like whatever shows got canceled before Netflix, you know, like obviously like that's just the history of, but like the kind of like salt the earth kind of thing that they do, or like no one gets to make this, or no, we'll never.
If I don't get it, then nobody does.
Yeah. Surely it'll be syndicated, and they'll be like, no, we're never re-airing it ever, or whatever. That's the truly anti-art thing.
That's what I was gonna say. Right. The fact that it's like, not only are we canceling the show, we're also removing it from anywhere that it could make any profit or any money further, and have to pay any royalties to any creators after the fact, which is Netflix hasn't done as much, where they haven't necessarily canceled something and then taken it off their platform, or I can't think of any prevalent examples that it is, but that's what HBO's doing right now. They're canceling stuff and just removing it right off the platform, which has, I think, was like what they lost a bunch of money doing that. They had like a, what was it, 30 million deficit they had to fill, and then they ended up losing 2 billion in market share from deleting all this stuff.
Oof. Yeah.
Oops.
Oops. Well, I can't say I feel bad for them.
Yeah. Dang, it's almost like we come to HBO Max for specifically one thing, and when they stop doing that specifically one thing, I don't know.
It's like we just so quickly give up.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Have you all seen the 3rd season of Tuca and Bertie?
No,
Not yet.
I actually haven't seen the second.
I haven't. The second was actually really good. Leslie, have you seen the second?
No, I have not.
Okay, so the second was actually really good. I watched it a couple months back, and I really liked it. I think it leaned in more heavily to some of the themes of the show. That's like adult problems. That it's like toxic relationships and dealing with anxiety, finding a therapist. Those are some of the themes in the second season. So I really like the second season. But I'm interested to see what will happen after I haven't seen the 3rd season. Not sure. I saw it got like 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever, but I'm not too sure where they go from here. And I'm interested to see if it ends up getting renewed for an additional season, even though it's really well liked. But at that point, it's up to Adult Swim, wouldn't it be?
Or
I believe so.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So I'm like, I don't even know if it has anything to do with the whole HBO Max debacle that's been going on, the Discovery Warner Brothers collision. So I'm not too sure.
Right.
But I hope they do another season.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I mean, it's well, also there's, are we aware of the Tiffany Haddish news?
What?
I did not put 2 and 2 together. You say it then.
Should
we get a resource first? Should we check a source?
No, I'll just, I mean, I don't super want to get into it, but like credibly accused of like on-set workplace child sexual harassment.
What?
That wasn't how I interpreted that.
Oh.
Maybe I'm thinking
not
else.
harassment, sorry. Negligence in a way that fucking traumatized a kid.
Oh my god. Well, it says child sexual abuse here.
Yeah, it's the what I read was that
Whoa!
they actually I don't think it
hey.
I don't think they worked with them on the on a show. I think
it was for like it was for like a comedy sketch that like didn't air. We don't need to get into the details.
Yeah, we don't need to go into it.
Yeah.
The more I'm reading, the less I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I did not put that together though.
I'll say I don't want to get into the details of it. Simply to say, it sounds credible.
Yeah.
It hardcore sucks. I know that when we do the opening credits for these shows a lot, I will say like, and this dude blows.
Sure.
This one maybe blows one of the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
But much like the when we did Castlevania, I said I don't want to talk about the Warren Ellis thing. I just want to talk about Dracula.
Right.
I don't really want to I just want to talk about birds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's just talk about birds.
So I would imagine the future of this show is kind of contingent on how that all plays out.
Good point. And I thank you for putting that together for me because I read that news and I forgot those were the same person. I don't know how, but I'd be unaware of that.
That article dropped the day we booked this show.
Yeah.
So I had to think about it a lot. So yeah, anyway, I imagine the future of the show is reliant on how that all pans out.
Yeah. Woof.
Last but not least, the episode we watched today is Season 1, Episode 2, The Promotion. Bertie attempts to raise her standing at Condé Nast by seeking a promotion to Senior Operations Director. This proves to be more difficult than anticipated, as Bertie doesn't really stand out in her office, and her attempts to do so are thwarted by the continued grandstanding of a rooster named Dirk. Meanwhile, Tuca attempts to hack away at some gig economy tasks before getting hired at Condé Nast as a tip explicitly to help Bertie.
What a charming show.
Truly. I'm charmed.
Jay, 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
Leslie and I can each take one in turn, but I'll start.
Okay.
Go for it.
Why Tuca and Bertie? By Netflix, Adult Swim, HBO.
I actually did not know the Adult Swim thing until earlier today when I was researching it because I was like, it's on HBO Max picked it up. That's what I had thought in my little brain. Why I like this show is I don't love adult animation. Most of the time because it's not clever. And I think when I think adult animation off the top of my head, I think Family Guy, American Dad, The Simpsons can be clever, and like Big Mouth, that Rick and Morty, that type of stuff where it's just crude humor and it's like not clever to me as a viewer.
Sure.
What I love about Tuca and Bertie is that it is an adult animated show and they talk about sex themes, but it's not like a big deal. And I feel like they do things that are weird. I think I wrote something down here that was like, it's silly, but it's not like, we're random. That was so random that we just did that. It doesn't take itself too seriously. I don't know.
Well, as you know, we've discussed that exact dynamic of adult animation several times in this season of Syndicated. So I definitely understand exactly where you're coming from.
And I even was looking at, once I learned Adult Swim had picked it up, I was actually looking at the Adult Swim lineup of their original programming. And I just was almost surprised because I was like, I just feel like this show is so different than what they're currently producing. To list some: Rick and Morty, Robot Chicken, Smiling Friends, Teenage Euthanasia, Bird Girl. I don't know. None of those shows. I'm like, I feel like it's just a lot different than...
Isn't Bird Girl the one we're reviewing?
Oh, God. You're hilarious.
Good one. Good one.
But it just seems really different than their other programs. And I think one thing, even when I was looking at the list of what Adult Swim play all their shows, I think because it is a woman-led show makes it very different from a lot of other adult animation that comes to mind.
Sure.
When thinking about those things. So I really liked it for that reason. I also like it and chose it to talk about because I really relate to the characters. I really relate to Bertie a lot. And some of the especially in this episode, watching it, I was like, some of these themes she's talking about I go, I've been there, and like I get it, and it almost is like, wow, that's a good lesson. I'm gonna do that next time something happens or whatever.
Sure.
Which you don't always get from adult animation.
Yeah, that's valid. So, next question for you.
Okay.
Why did you choose this episode of Tuca and Bertie to go through?
Great question. I watched the second season about 2 months ago, and then yesterday, 2 days ago, I was like, I'm going to watch every single episode, and I'm going to pick one. And I was like, wait, I can't do that in that amount of time. So I started watching again through the first season. I got like 6 episodes into it. But after watching the second episode, I was like, this seems really relatable, because I know I have some friends who want to get promoted at their jobs, and it's just too hard. It's just too hard. And
it's just so hard.
Yeah, and I liked I just liked it a lot better than some of the other episodes that I watched. I liked some of the jokes better. So it just felt right to pick it and bring it forth to, wrapped in a baby blanket to the both of you, the adult animation experts here, to chat about. And that's pretty much it. There was some episodes in season 2 that I was thinking about, but I think they more heavily relied on the heavier themes. I don't know, the more serious themes that they talk about. And I'm like, is that what encapsulates what I find so charming about this show? Not really. So I was trying to find one that I felt like better encapsulates like the silly, goofy side of it, but does bring up serious topics like sexual assault, like sexual harassment, and like climbing up the corporate ladder and gig economy and all of those things, pooping in public, those things that I go, I deal with that.
Critical topics of our time.
Yeah, critical topics. Yeah, literally. So
honestly, though,
for all those
been
reasons.
doing a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, been doing a lot less pooping in public for the last couple of years. It's great.
Yeah,
sure,
I'll do that much.
Used to have to do it almost daily. Now, almost never.
I mean, I have to say I'm a hard disagree on that, because I love getting paid to poop.
Yeah.
Oh,
that pleases me.
I also do.
Well, now we do it. We don't even have to talk.
Yeah, I just do it within the comfort of my own home.
Yeah.
Pandemic silver linings.
I get to use my own bathroom and my own toilet paper and my own flushable wipes and my own
I have a bidet.
potty.
So, right. Well, I have a bidet. If I got a squatty potty, I would be next level shitting. Because I already have a bidet.
Yeah, I want to get a bidet, and my squatty potty, I literally cannot.
Yeah, we can't talk about the bidet any further, because if we do, then that's what this podcast will become about. So let's stop talking now. But last pitch is it will change your life.
Yeah, syndicated with Leslie and bidet.
Yeah, you will not recognize who you once were before you started using a bidet. That's all I'll say about it. And we're done.
Speaking of no longer having to use the office can, no more of that awful one-ply office toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
My God, most ineffective. Anyway.
Anyway, this show is relatable. And yeah, I like watching it, and it's funny, and it's visually stimulating and interesting. The animation style is really fun. One thing I really liked that I don't feel like they do as much in later episodes is they do those transition. I don't know how to describe them. Those transition
interstitials.
Scenes. Yeah, what did you call them?
Interstitials.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've never heard that word before. But yeah, I like those, and I think those are a lot of fun. And that they're the stretched style and all sorts of other things.
Yeah, Tuca becomes like a plant at one point.
And Tuca opens her mouth, and then the mouth is mouth or whatever. And then...
Right, like a xenomorph.
Yeah.
And then there was one where Bertie's like, I'm gonna eat spicy chips for lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
And, anyway, she's just walking left to right while a bunch of chips are flashing in the background or whatever. Yeah, no, I really like those. I like how the show does it does I guess the only way to describe it is fourth wall breaks, but it's not like Deadpool turning to the comics panel or whatever, but it has characters taking advantage of the fact that they are animated and like reaching out toward objects that have materialized by them describing them or whatever.
Sure.
It doesn't like draw attention to its fourth wall breaks a lot. I'm thinking Bertie describes Dirk at one point, and like the HR representative like reaches up and like pets his like portrait that appears above
specifically
above
his waddle.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Which looks a lot like testicles.
I was going to say his face balls. Don't know what they're called, but that's what I would call them.
That's called a waddle.
Okay.
Chicken facts.
Mel Brooks' famous movie, Faceballs.
One thing I also really like about this show, and it brings me back to my childhood, because I grew up someone who loved watching the show Chowder. And in Chowder, if anybody's seen that, have either of you seen it? Chowder.
I'm familiar.
Cartoon Network. They use puppets. They use live action. They use claymation. They use a lot of different mediums in it. And this show, it doesn't do it as much in this episode, but you do see it when
Stephen Yeun, Speckle.
Yeah, Speckle.
Oven fries.
The oven fries are, obviously not animated. Yeah. And there was another episode a little later on where they do Tuca's telling a story, and it's all made out of yarn, and it's like stop motion yarn and stuff in the first season. And I really like that, because I think it's not just limiting to like this one animation style, or just being animated, but they put in jokes when appropriate and all different sorts of things. So I really like that about this show as well, in terms of style. Yeah,
it doesn't confine itself, like both to its medium, but also it doesn't confine itself to just being, once again, not to praise the show at the expense of BoJack or anything, but it doesn't confine itself just to people standing in 3/4 angle, talking at each other left to right or whatever. It takes advantage of the space that it's in. Characters like kind of bounce around. It zooms in on people. It takes advantage of like the literal frame, I think, much more so than I'm going to call it its predecessor, even though obviously it doesn't have a shared story or anything, but it is the same two executive producers, and like, you know what I mean?
I think that's safe. You can safely say that.
Yeah.
But it takes advantage of the fact that like, of its frame, the fact that it is animated more than BoJack does.
Yeah.
And it's just a real visual treat to watch.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of that has to do with like having animated BoJack before and wondering like how far can we take this? How can we push some boundaries with this animation?
Sure. Yeah, you can like grow as an artist, but because of a way you've started a project, you're kind of still constrained to that specific way. It would be weird if BoJack started looking like Tuca and Bertie in its fourth season.
Exactly. Yeah. But with this, Lisa Hannawalt was like, well, let's see what I can do with this. So I mean, I'm imagining. This is my fantasy in my head.
Well, yeah, sure. But I think that's a totally reasonable interpretation of what probably happened.
Sure.
I also like in this show, there's a lot of like little gags that you wouldn't maybe notice on your first watch through. One of them, like visual little things. One I like is when Tuca in this episode, when she redoes the bathroom, and on the back of the wall it says "piss, wipe, flush."
Yes,
like, live, laugh, love.
I love
Did you
that.
see that? Yeah, there's other things.
I love that so much.
The writing on like the bathroom stall stuff, like other little background. I liked when in the very first part of the show in Bertie's fantasy, she has like it's employee of the month all up on the wall and stuff when she's trying to make the water cooler small talk.
Right.
I like that little scene too. I like the filing cabinet that they were in. Like,
oh yeah, I will never be sated.
I will never be sated.
As I feed, I become hungrier. This is my curse. Yeah.
But I like the jokes like that. That's just like silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I looked into Hannawalt just now. Out of curiosity about something, because I was like, well, I said grow as an artist or whatever. She is only 39.
Yep. That's my age.
Yeah. Which then led me, because I was thinking like, if you grow as an artist, et cetera, like, oh, well, that means like BoJack started when she was like 30.
Sure.
And like that's plenty of time.
Yeah, and Raphael von Waxberg is like, he's only like, he's young. That's what I want to say about it. Yeah. I want to say he might also be my age.
Who?
Or younger.
Raphael
Bob Waxberg.
Waxberg is the.
I said
Oh
Vaughn
wow,
for some reason, but
That's the real name?
Yes, that is his real name, and he's the creator of BoJack, and he started it when he was also in his 30s. Early 30s, I want to say.
Hold on. It's a perfectly normal name. I legit don't know
I
why you're
also
laughing.
thought it was, I heard Raphael von Waxberg.
Oh, no.
No, it's Bob Waxberg.
Yeah, I thought that was a little sillier what I heard. So, that's what I heard.
His name... Yeah, their names are Ben Hamlin and Leslie Yates. Real riots.
Real riot.
Yeah, 38. So, BoJack would have started when he was like 29 or whatever.
Yep.
That's
so
wild.
he's actually younger than me. Nothing to be depressed about. It's fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But no, I was thinking, oh. Huh. Okay, hold on. I'll come back to this fact. But yeah, no, I was just thinking like, grow as an artist or whatever. That's like tons of meaningful television experience during like a key chunk of your life, your 30s. Like it makes sense that like you'll want to like switch gears and do something more visually experimental after, especially because presumably, I don't know, maybe it's two successful people from a previously very successful enterprise. Presumably they get like a little bit of a budget. They got a little more time to kind of play around with things. And then they're canceled after one season disrespectfully. But, like that's like a perfect time for like a kind of like artistic growth thing, just that the kind that just comes from having experience. Here's why I made an O sound, because I didn't realize this. Lisa Hanawalt is married to Adam Conover.
I did not know that. I love him so very much.
Yeah, as an
Adam ruins everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
And Adam Conover was on a sketch comedy team with Raphael Bob Waxberg.
Of course.
So presumably, that's how they all met. To one degree or another.
Yeah.
How about that?
And thank God they did.
It all connects.
Right?
Holy shit! That was like the first
insane.
photo on Adam Conover's page, because that was a 2-part revelation of I didn't know that. What are the odds?
Today you learned.
What the fuck is Raphael Bob Waxberg from? Other than this comedy series.
I don't know.
What's he doing now? If you're out there, man.
If you're free on Thursday, I would like to hang out on Thursday when I am free.
Hey, man, big fan.
Just saying.
Growing up, he was influenced by The Simpsons. Yeah, no shit.
No shit.
Oh wow, a white man in his 30s? Influenced by The Simpsons? What are the odds?
You don't say.
What are we talking about? Yeah, no, it's cool how this feels like, feels like such an extension and also in such a very different direction as BoJack.
Sure. I love it. I think it's amazing.
I'm sorry. Not to keep reading this article, but once again, Adam Conover and Bob Waxberg, they were roommates.
Oh my God, they were roommates.
All right, I'm done.
Oh my God, they were roommates. All right.
I remember when this show came out, and I remember specifically texting Leslie, because obviously we've been doing horsing around. That's not the name of our fucking podcast. With Horses and Men.
Horsing around!
We had been doing With Horses and Men with Leslie and Ben for quite some time, and we were both very excited for this show. And I remembered texting you, Leslie, specifically, and being like, oh my God, this is different.
Yeah.
I remember texting you like, oh, this is not nearly as deep as BoJack.
It's a little more nonsensical.
It is very nonsensical, especially in these opening episodes. That changes by the end of this first season.
That is also true. That is also
the end
true.
of this first season is very intense, but boy, howdy does it not start that way.
True.
Like very intense to the degree where like whatever, no shit, Art can get a reaction out of me, but like I was like genuinely upset. I think by the end of this first season.
Yes.
That lake episode.
Yeah. The lake episode.
Yeah.
It's a fucking intense bit, but so much of this, the early couple episodes of the show, just kind of seems like it's just gonna be like animated Broad City.
Yeah.
A bit, yeah. That's a safe thing to say that you would assume it is.
Yeah.
At first.
Doesn't become that. But very much feels like it's like, just two gals dealing with the modern world.
Right.
One of them's kind of quirky. Nah.
And yet.
I mean, one of them is kind of quirky.
Yet. Well, sure, but it ends up becoming something a lot.
Yeah.
More.
And I think that what makes the show so much more enjoyable, for me at least. That it's like, it's not like we're just goofing around all the time. I like goofing, that's fun. But the ability to actually like deeply relate to some of what these characters have gone through is important to me when consuming media. One thing I found was interesting was I was looking at the like fandom wiki whatever blah 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 for this episode specifically, and it was like talking about how Tuca was watching the car crash videos, and I find it a little comical, but it could be true. They made the comment like, Tuca likes watching car crash videos because her mom died in a car crash, and she tries to make humor out of like sorrow or whatever. And I was like, I don't know how I go, okay, that seems like a little bit of a stretch, but even then, if that's like the truth of, you know, this little silly bit that they have about the car crash videos, which I think is so funny that they're just like so slowly coming together, just is interesting to me.
That's one of the things that makes me think of like the order of events of like writing something like that.
Yeah.
Like, do you add the traumatic backstory part as a reference to the joke you made early on, or are you using that joke early on to foreshadow? And like for us as the audience perspective, that can be interpreted either way. But like at some point on some legal pad in some writer's room, one of those ideas was written down first. You know what I mean? And I wonder about that. I think I brought it up earlier in this season, but like I wonder about that from time to time. I was like, what part came first, and which direction did they decide to run with it? Yeah, no, I genuinely remember thinking this was going to be, again, not to degrade it in any way, because obviously I love sitcoms, but I was like, oh, this is a very smart sitcom, and like because even the bulk of this episode focusing on like a workplace sexual harassment incident does so pretty lightly. You know, with the jokes about like the pamphlet that, you know, just like how to kiss at work appropriately or whatever, or flirting at work appropriately or whatever.
Right.
Can we really call that harassment? Like all those kind of jokes.
Yeah.
Like,
do we even want to call it assault?
I love when she holds up the doll and goes, which parts of this doll is it okay to whistle at?
Right.
And it brings me back to my days of working HR. And to get a little bit deeper into this episode specifically, I go, yeah, that's how when she initially approaches HR, and it's like, oh, well, he's cute, so you must have liked it. Like, still doesn't make it okay. And also the comments of like, if you bring this up, it's probably not good for the company. One resonated the most, that I haven't been in an instance of sexual harassment in the workplace, but when I worked HR, there were things that they were like, it's probably not, even though they were wrong, they're like, it's probably not good to bring it up because it reflects poorly on the company. And it's not right.
Or fucks with cohesion or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, we're a team, so we don't want to talk about those kind of things.
Yeah.
Right.
But I like the way that it kind of turned out, in the way that Bertie ended up actually saying something, and a bunch of people, I don't think Dirk gets fired. I think, well, they said pack your things, so I don't really know.
Well, but they also said leave for the day.
The day, yeah.
You know, maybe he doesn't get fired overtly, but, you know, like, he clearly is not going to get that promotion after that, so, you know.
Oh, clearly?
Well, I mean, that's the implication.
Yeah.
Well, because she gets the promotion at the end of the episode, so
you're right, that's true. I was just like, oh, I don't know if I'd put it past.
Another thing I like about this episode.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't either normally,
but
she literally we do.
She says, I guess I got what I wanted, and then tries to leave, and then is like, no, you have to stay. That reminds me of my own life too, because for a while there, I was like, I've got to climb this corporate ladder. I got to like move forward and take on more responsibility and be a good employee. XYZ, and then I'm like, where does that even what I want? To have more responsibility, to be like that type of, I don't know. It shows it a little bit more in this following episodes of her being just super stressed out at work, given all her responsibility. But it's like, this is what she wanted, or is, you know, what society tells us to want.
This
Right.
is probably a good episode for us to be covering while there are seemingly 1,000 articles a day about what quiet quitting is.
Right? Quiet quitting or doing just your job and nothing else, because fuck that.
There has never been... Okay, not to get into, like, the nature of propaganda.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Not to get into the nature of propaganda or whatever, but there are some times where, like, boy, everyone's come up with the new fake word of the week this week, huh? It's so weird that CNN, ABC, etc. are all pushing this at the exact same time. It was the same thing. It wasn't last year, I guess. It was like way earlier this year. The exact phrase, nobody wants to work anymore.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. Nobody wants to work
Please
anymore.
forgive the
And
delay
it's like,
with your
listen,
order.
Yeah.
Only one worker showed up. No one wants to work
Right.
anymore.
No one wants to work anymore. It's like, well,
And
that's
I remember
not exactly what's going on.
reading that at my job, cup of coffee in my hand going, oh, these are fake as
Yeah.
shit.
Oh yeah. some real are that happened content going on.
Yeah, first of all, I never believe the individual scenario that's happening, but like 100% that is clearly a I think that no one wants to work anymore thing, which was a thing that was pushed by, from the likes of like Bloomberg News and CNN or whatever. But also,
Sure.
like, as a phrase that was stapled to the front of restaurants in your neighborhood or whatever, is 100% like a small business association, or like, your local...
I've seen
like,
it.
they're all pushing that on purpose to try to get...
I do have to say, though...
Anyway.
I have seen it in the wild. I've seen it in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
My friend...
Did you
Yeah, my
smash
friend
the
Rebecca
window?
and I... No, I mean... I don't know. I didn't think about it. Well, like we went to Sonic to try and get some frozen treats, and they were closed because nobody showed up for the shift, allegedly. So
I've never seen something so, like, nakedly astroturfed as, quote unquote, no one wants to work anymore, and now quiet quitting, which is just called going home on time.
yeah.
And like that's the problem she runs into, is that she tries to take on more responsibilities, and for some reason unspokenly that means she has to stay past like 6:30.
Like, going home early. 6:30.
6:30. Past 6:30. Yeah, and I love it because the boss is doing a freaking Zen garden. And he's like, "What? You're going home?" I'm like, "Babe, you're not even working. You're there doing a Zen garden." And I love earlier in the episode, he's like playing with a pen. He's playing with a pen, and she goes, "Oh, he looks really busy. I don't want to distract him."
Yeah.
When she's trying to ask.
Yeah, I was
and I'm
going to say,
like,
what
that's
else is
bosses
management
for
for?
you.
That's Richard E. Grant, by the way.
Yes, it is. I was just about to say that. Hector likes to look up the voice actors and various things, and,
same.
He was looking it up. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that was Richard E. Grant. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, what else is this for? What else are bosses for? Yeah, that's Richard E. Grant, and then John Early plays the rooster.
Nicole Byer.
Yeah, Nicole Byer plays. She apparently plays a bunch of different roles depending on episode, but she was the bathroom stall talker in this episode.
Oh yeah. I can hear that. Yeah, I think this is a really creative show. Not to like wrap us up, but I think this is a really creative show. I think it's got creative visuals. I love the way it does. It's like, again, it's interstitials and it's like fourth wall breaking, where it doesn't feel like it's like drawing attention to it. It just has like a really unified and unique aesthetic, which I know we've obviously been singing the praises of a lot of adult animation shows, but a lot of other adult animation shows just do not have this level of like aesthetic appeal, because they're things like the fucking Grand Central or whatever. Not Grand Central.
God, yeah. What is it? Central Park.
Thank you. Grand Central's the train station.
That is.
New York. Hey, who knows?
New York. Hey, I'm walking here.
Hey. And there's that one, like, Alaska one with, like, Nick Offerman or whatever. Like,
yeah.
But, and fucking Big Mouth. I gotta hate Big Mouth.
Yeah, Big Mouth.
Yes.
Sorry, Ali
Stylistically,
Wong.
writing, any other thing that makes a television show,
Sure.
I do not care for it. Also, sexualizing kids, don't care. No thanks.
I have a hot take that I'll wait on saying. Anyway.
Okay.
But anyway, I just think like this has, again, we have been singing the praises of adult animation ever since the season started. But like, we do got to acknowledge, and have acknowledged from time to time, a lot of shows just do it badly. And boy, this just really does stand out as like, cream of the crop, look what can be. In a way that I really enjoy. Because it's so unique.
And I think that's what's so exciting about it, is that it's like, given how much shit has been going on with animation, not taken seriously as a medium, in the recent many moons, it's exciting to see like, wow, this is great. The story is relatable. It's well written. It's visually beautiful. It's like the show. Lots of shows could be like this, but I think choose not to for some reason.
And look, obviously we've opened up a whole new can of worms in the streaming era, so maybe even what I'm about to say is not entirely relevant. But between this and like Midnight Gospel and whatnot, if studios and networks stop treating adult animation like it's the 11 o'clock p.m. slot, and like that it's not throwaway padding content for your network, and start giving it when we stop prioritizing things like South Park and start prioritizing things like Midnight Gospel and Tuca and Bertie and whatnot, like I care much more for that landscape of adult animation.
I would like to generalize it by saying I wish they would stop believing adult animation is just for boys.
Oh, sure.
I'm saying boys, not men. But that's what it feels like, because that's what I feel like is so different about this show. So it's just a lot of times just that it's supposed to be, I think a lot about Rick and Morty. It's supposed to be this certain type of show that, young adult men are going to watch. They're like, oh, those are the people that watch adult animation.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't think that's true. I think a lot about the stuff that had come out with the new HBO Discovery, their platform now. Ben or Leslie, do you remember what it was? Is the synergy like diagram that was like women like
I don't
reality shows or something. Men.
Yeah, it was basically like, well, first of all, men are from Mars and whatever. But yeah, it was like men love scripted, lean forward content, and women love reality shows and cars or like whatever. Yeah. It was like, it was the most like,
oh yeah, here it is. It goes, HBO Max is for men, male skew, scripted, lean in, appointment viewing, home of fandoms. I can't even read the second column. I can't read the second column. Discovery Plus is female skew, unscripted, lean back,
my
comfort
God.
viewing, home of the genredoms. First of all, what the
and what they meant by genredoms.
What the fuck is that word?
What they meant by
genredoms
is like it, like as opposed to fandoms around specific characters or whatever. Genredoms is like women love home improvement shows.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
And I cannot imagine being a high level like internal marketing like director or whatever and going to a meeting and putting up this graphic that might as well say women be shopping.
Yeah.
This for all intents and purposes literally just says women be shopping. And that is not not serious.
Yeah.
That is like, I would laugh you out of the room if you brought this to me.
Yeah.
Men are hunters, women are gatherers or whatever. I'm like, fuck off.
That's yeah, that's
how it
Oh,
feels.
okay. Does someone else want this job?
Literally lean in, lean back. That's freaking hunter gatherer. Yeah. That's literally what is it. The men hunt for their content. The women just lean back and just pick the berries. They just let it come to them.
God.
That's what that feels like.
Men love Sopranos, and women, they can't get enough of those property brothers.
Well, and like what is like the, I don't know, the scripted unscripted is what I think is the fandoms, genredoms is shocking, but scripted, unscripted, I'm like, where is it that women, I feel like if we're looking at stereotypes, women prefer romance movies and telenovelas or whatever. That's like typical chick flicks, typical women content. That's scripted stuff. So I'm just confused where this like scripted, unscripted came in.
They're talking about reality shows. That's what they're talking about.
It is with reality shows, but...
Yeah. Because I mean,
Yeah.
not to like go deep back in like history of TV or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's soap operas that were on during the middle of the day, and
Sure.
then like when Dad gets
Yeah.
home from work, that's when all like the Ed Sullivan like variety programming was on.
Mm-hmm.
Historically, it's been the reverse. Women attach themselves to the scripted stuff, and then when the guys get home, that's time for like, the
Yeah, we're saying men don't like unscripted? What about ridiculousness? We need to talk about ridiculousness.
I think it is absurd.
So it's silly, and it just makes me sad because then not as many fun, quirky, writing, story-heavy shows like this
Sure.
are made because women won't watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Is what
I
it
just think
feels
we got
like.
to reprioritize our resources a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't look at this image and not laugh.
I would laugh them out of the room. This is
Yeah.
such a reductionist. It's insulting. I think there we go. It's just genuinely insulting.
Yeah. And what doesn't make... They literally could have made this without including gender in it, so to say. Like, they literally could have just not included male skew, female skew, and been like, hey, this is what HBO Max content is about, and this is what Discovery Plus content is about. And that could have been it.
But then where would the sexism have come
Yeah,
in?
that's right.
I mean, come on.
There wouldn't have
Come
been
on,
room
think with
for
your
it.
lady brain.
Yeah, remember, these executives are only able to think of the words 18 through 34. Like,
Right.
they need hard and fast, like, demographic categories, or they won't invest in anything.
Yeah.
What are merch sales going to be like?
Ugh.
Fuck off.
Home of fandom.
Home of fandoms, I get. Home of genre domes, I think, is dumb as shit.
Yeah,
I just, name an HBO Max fandom.
Succession.
I can very easily do that. Come on, y'all.
Succession.
Our Flag Means Death is on HBO Max.
I just think that...
Our Flag Means Death, possibly the biggest fandom out there right now, is on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Also, there are a lot of people making fan cams of the Succession characters unironically, which is genuinely my greatest joy as a Succession fan.
I guess that's true. I guess I think of fandoms in this context. I was thinking more traditionally, like Marvel and DC, which they have DC, and I think I was thinking more like comics.
No,
I was thinking
there
more
are so many
large
more fandoms than
than
just
like
comics.
literally. Very true. Very true.
On that note, favorite jokes, and then let's get out of here.
Yeah. I'll go first. It's difficult to say. I think the entire bit with the left boob was fantastic. Although I think that my favorite would probably be piss flush wipe, honestly. Like, that was just so, when I saw it, I was like, that's fucking incredible. And I want that in
Live, laugh,
that
love.
in my bathroom so badly. Like, I genuinely want to have it in my bathroom. So probably that one.
Yeah.
My favorite joke also took place in the bathroom. It is when the cell phone lady is on the phone and says, quote, "Some women are body positive, but not me."
Yeah, that was also pretty good.
Also Stephen Yoon's line of 2 different types of oven fries. But I really liked the kind of sing-songy nature of some women are body positive, but not me.
But not me. Yeah.
I have a long list here. But
You
I'll
get
keep it
one,
brief. I'll
maybe
run
two.
through
You get
real
one
quick.
favorite. It's your favorite.
I get one. Okay, my one favorite. Can I say honorable
Yeah.
mentions after though? My one favorite is when they keep doing the sitcom, and it's like,
Oh my God,
Central
yes, the
weeknights,
running
7:30,
joke,
and then
That
it's
was really
like
good.
the Bertie's Boo,
Yeah.
11 at 11:45. I thought that
It's
was
real good.
hilarious.
Yeah,
And then
I agree.
they do one more in the. Can I say my honorable mentions? I promise
Yes.
I'll be
Sure.
quick. Here's the honorable mentions. You're gonna get rewarded with my big dinner idea. That Speckle says. I like that one. I also like that she as in Tuca, kept saying templates, but every single I
Yeah.
don't know. I guess I found it silly and fun. She's like
And
templates,
spelled
every
differently.
time the text changed.
Yeah.
And it was templates, and then it was trampolines. and then it was
Tampons.
tampons.
I
actually wrote
yeah.
it down. And I also really liked the man that was under the floor at lunchtime.
Oh yeah, lunch is fun now.
Remember that? They open up the floor, and there's a guy
Yeah.
under there, and they never bring it up again. And I thought that
Yeah.
was fun. But the sitcom style one was my favorite because I watch TV. I know what they're referencing.
I really liked that.
Seinfeld.
That was good. Yeah. I also particularly appreciated that every time it came up, it was in a different, like a style of a different show's logo. Mm-hmm. That was also very good.
Yeah, there's that one kind of Frasier-y looking one.
Uh-huh.
I like Frasier. That's all.
I like Frasier too. Anyways, yeah, so yeah.
Jay, thanks so much for bringing this to our little table. Really do appreciate it. Where do you want to be found? Obviously, we can see your visual art just about anywhere on the IB channels.
Sure.
It was actually a little treat when I was going through your guys' the whole season, and I was looking back just to see what you had talked about, and I was like, I made that. I designed that graphic or whatever else, so that's fun. You can find me on, if you're really looking for me, first of all, why? Second of all, you can find me online at Fat Rachel Berry on Twitter, and on pretty much that's it. Yeah, sometimes I'm funny. I do funny things. I like to talk a lot about the Muppets and about theme parks. So if you like either of those things, give me a follow.
Folks, my name is Ben Hamlin. You can find me online at Ben C. Hamlin. That is BenChamlin over on Twitter and Instagram. You can check out Parascience, an exploration of the supernatural and unquantifiable, which comes out every other Tuesday right here on InfinityBreak.net. Additionally, I stream over on twitch.tv/InfinityBreak Gaming on Tuesdays with my friend Maddie and Fridays solo. Leslie, where can people find you?
People can find me at Vanetti on Twitter, Vanetti. You can find me there on Twitter. I like to think that I'm a fun person there. That's about the only place you can find me currently. But I'm definitely there.
Yep.
That's it. I'm there. I am. Look at me.
Your tweets are good and insightful.
They are good and insightful. I try.
This has been Syndicated with Leslie and Ben. Thanks for your patience, folks, while we worked our stuff out over the summer. We should be back a little more regularly as we wrap up our adult animation season. I can think of 2 episodes that we know we have left. And then I guess we'll have to figure out what to do with our season finale. Maybe another staff pick like we did last time. But then
that was a really fun
we're moving on to different pastures. We still have not figured out our next genre. We'll probably put up a poll in the future.
Ben, the fans are demanding. They want to know.
Oh, they're not, but thank you.
No one's demanding it, but thank you very much for the vote of confidence.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to say, but I think Leslie and I are maybe the primary carers about that. Yeah, we don't know where we're going next. Leslie and I have tossed about some ideas. We will probably put up a poll or have a more public-facing discussion about where we're going with the show for our next genre. But in the meantime, we're wrapping up adult animation, and we really appreciate y'all listening. If you like what you're hearing, please do tell your friends. That would mean the world to us. Leave 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, patreon.com/InfinityBreak. You can follow the show at SyndicatedWLAB over on Twitter.com. I think that just about covers everything. You know how to support a podcast. Yeah. If you manage to figure out how to listen to one, I'm sure you know how to support one.
True.
Kind of a weirdly high learning curve for getting into podcasts. So many people are like, I don't know how the podcast or how these things work, and I'm like, literally just type the name in and press plus. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. Bye.
Okay, bye. Bye.